The world of hip-hop and entertainment has been thrown into turmoil following the recent arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This high-profile case has not only shocked the music industry, but also captured public attention worldwide as new allegations and lawsuits continue to surface. With Diddy's assault case intensifying and the legal battle playing out in court, the ramifications are enormous. In a newly surfaced viral video, Diddy can be seen in the courtroom, flanked by his legal team, fighting to defend himself against the mounting accusations. The big question now is, will Diddy's team of lawyers manage to navigate these complex legal waters and extricate the rapper from the numerous lawsuits he faces? Let's delve into this story and explore the possibilities ahead for Diddy and his legal defense. The legal troubles for Diddy recently reached new heights when a team of high-powered attorneys announced their intention to file as many as 120 sexual assault charges against him. This startling revelation has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, with each new allegation adding to the already significant pressure on Diddy's defense team. The lead attorney in the case, Tony Busby, has been at the forefront of this legal battle, working tirelessly to investigate and compile the claims of over 3,800 individuals from across the United States who have lodged complaints against Diddy. After meticulously reviewing the details of these complaints, Busby announced that he intends to represent 120 of these individuals as clients, all of whom are accusing the hip-hop mogul of various forms of sexual misconduct. The nature of the allegations is both disturbing and wide-ranging, covering acts of sexual assault, rape, illegal detention, forced prostitution, and the sexual abuse of minors, among others. Busby revealed that he and his team have collected substantial evidence from the victims, including photos, videos, and text messages. Many of these victims, he stated, have already been in contact with the FBI, with others potentially following suit. The gravity of these accusations becomes even more significant when considering that 25 of the victims were minors at the time of the alleged incidents, with some of these alleged assaults dating back over 25 years. The complaints against Diddy paint a troubling picture of systemic abuse and exploitation. Many victims claim that they were lured into compromising situations through parties that Diddy hosted, including album release events, holiday parties, and exclusive gatherings. At these events, they were allegedly drugged and then subjected to various forms of sexual exploitation. According to several reports, individuals seeking to enter the entertainment industry were coerced into these situations, with the promise of fame and success used as leverage to pressure them into participating. One particularly harrowing case involves a 9-year-old boy who was allegedly promised a recording deal by Diddy before being sexually assaulted by the rapper and other individuals at a recording studio. This case is just one example of the devastating impact these allegations have had, not only on the victims themselves, but on the public perception of Diddy, who was once celebrated as a business mogul and cultural icon. Despite the overwhelming accusations, Diddy's legal team remains steadfast in their defense of the rapper. Led by attorney Mark Agnifilo, Diddy's defense team has maintained that many of the sexual encounters in question were consensual. Agnifilo has argued that there is no evidence to suggest that any of these acts occurred without mutual consent, and has emphasized that Diddy did not force anyone into these situations against their will. Furthermore, Agnifilo pointed out that surveillance footage showing Diddy physically assaulting his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura in 2016 has already been addressed publicly by the rapper, who apologized for his actions at the time. While the footage has been widely condemned, Diddy's legal team insists that it does not provide evidence of sexual trafficking or any other more serious offences. Agnifilo also framed Diddy's long-term relationship with Ventura as a complex story of love, pain and regret, noting that Diddy wished he had resolved their issues before she took legal action against him. As the legal battle rages on, Diddy's defense team has been working tirelessly to secure the rapper's release from the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, where he has been held since his arrest. The fight to secure Diddy's release on bail has been fraught with challenges. His legal team has made several attempts to appeal the judge's decision to keep Diddy in custody, proposing a $50 million bail package that included putting up Diddy's Miami home and his mother's house as collateral. They also offered to impose several restrictions on the rapper, including 24-hour monitoring, the surrendering of his passport, and strict limits on visitors to his home, only allowing his mother and the mothers of his children to visit. Additionally, Diddy would have been required to undergo weekly drug tests and would have been barred from contacting anyone considered a potential witness or accomplice. Despite these efforts, Diddy's bail appeals have been repeatedly rejected. The first appeal was turned down after prosecutors argued that Diddy posed a flight risk and could potentially manipulate witnesses if released. A subsequent appeal, which included the $50 million bail package, was also denied. As a result, Diddy's legal team is now preparing for a third appeal, and in a bid to strengthen their case, they have brought on board a new lawyer, Alexandra Shapiro. Shapiro is known for her work representing Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of the now defunct cryptocurrency exchange FTX, who was recently sentenced to 25 years in prison. Shapiro's involvement in Diddy's case has raised eyebrows, particularly because Bankman-Fried and Diddy are currently being held in the same detention center. While Diddy's legal team continues to fight for his release, rumours and concerns about the rapper's safety have been circulating. A recent informant warned that if Diddy is sent to prison, he could be a target for West Coast gangs seeking revenge for the death of Tupac Shakur. Although Diddy has denied any involvement in Tupac's murder, conspiracy theories linking him to the East Coast-West Coast feud in the 1990s persist. The Metropolitan Detention Center, where Diddy is currently being held, is notorious for its overcrowding, lack of staff, and frequent incidents of violence among inmates, all of which compound the potential danger he faces while incarcerated. At the same time, the discovery of thousands of bottles of baby oil and lubricants at Diddy's home during a police raid in March has further complicated his defense. These items were seized as evidence, and while Diddy's lawyers have argued that the products were purchased in bulk for personal use, the revelation has led to renewed speculation about the nature of the parties and gatherings hosted by the rapper. Diddy's lawyers have denied any connection between the baby oil and the sexual assault allegations, but the discovery has only served to raise more questions about his lifestyle and the accusations against him. As Diddy's legal troubles escalate, attention is also turning to other high-profile individuals who may have been involved in his activities. Tony Busby has hinted that a list of accomplices will soon be made public, shocking the world with the names of celebrities who may have participated in or benefited from Diddy's alleged crimes. This list reportedly includes figures from the music and entertainment industries, as well as business partners and political figures. Speculation has already begun to swirl around some of Diddy's closest associates, including rapper Jay-Z and several other prominent names in the hip-hop community. One particularly shocking revelation came from Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal, who claimed that politicians were also involved in Diddy's sexual assault case. Deal alleged that video recordings exist of politicians attending Diddy's notorious freak-off parties, where many of the alleged assaults took place. Among the politicians named was New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who was seen presenting Diddy with the key to the city at a ceremony in Times Square. In light of the allegations, Mayor Adams has faced mounting pressure, and in a letter sent to Diddy in June, he asked the rapper to return the key. The implications of these allegations are not just legal, but also deeply personal and professional for Diddy. His public image, once that of a celebrated entrepreneur and cultural icon, has taken a significant hit as these accusations have come to light. The once revered hip-hop mogul now faces the very real prospect of spending the rest of his life behind bars if he is found guilty of these crimes. For the entertainment industry, this case represents a major turning point as more and more high-profile figures come under scrutiny for their alleged involvement in similar crimes. As the case against Diddy continues to unfold, many within the music industry are grappling with the potential fallout. If Diddy is convicted, it could have far-reaching consequences, not only for his personal career, but for the broader landscape of hip-hop and popular culture. His fall from grace serves as a stark reminder that even the most powerful figures in the industry are not immune to the consequences of their actions. With each new revelation, the legal battle against Diddy grows more complex. His defense team is facing an uphill battle as prosecutors continue to gather evidence and more victims come forward. If found guilty, Diddy could be sentenced to a minimum of 15 years in prison with the possibility of life imprisonment. The charges against him, including conspiracy, sexual trafficking, and transportation for the purposes of prostitution, carry serious legal consequences, and the involvement of minors in the case only adds to the severity of the situation. As the legal proceedings move forward, one thing is certain: the world will be watching closely as this high-profile case unfolds. Diddy's legal team, led by some of the most experienced lawyers in the field, will need to work meticulously to counter the mountain of evidence that prosecutors have amassed. They will have to discredit the testimony of the numerous accusers, find inconsistencies in the reports, and challenge the admissibility of the evidence in court. It will be a battle of legal strategy and public perception, and Diddy's future hangs in the balance. For Diddy's legal team, the primary strategy may involve questioning the credibility of the victims, casting doubt on their motives, and framing the allegations as attempts to exploit Diddy's fame and fortune. Defense attorneys often argue that such accusations are financially motivated, especially when a high-profile celebrity is involved. In addition to these claims, Diddy's lawyers are expected to argue that much of the alleged sexual misconduct was consensual, as they have already done in some of the initial cases. Another key element of Diddy's defense will likely focus on discrediting the prosecution's evidence. As seen in high-profile cases of this nature, defense teams often challenge the admissibility of evidence, especially when it involves testimonies from events that allegedly occurred many years ago. Given the nature of the accusations, some of which date back decades, Diddy's defense team may argue that memories fade over time and witnesses could misremember details. This could be a particularly important tactic when dealing with allegations from victims who were minors at the time, as their recollection of events may be scrutinized more rigorously. Furthermore, Diddy's team will likely challenge the methods used to gather evidence, especially if there are concerns about how law enforcement obtained communications or seized property. In cases involving high-profile defendants, there are often disputes over privacy rights and the legality of certain searches, particularly if the defense believes that the prosecution overstepped its bounds. The discovery of the baby oil and lubricants, for example, has already become a contentious point, with Diddy's lawyers questioning the relevance of such items to the case. Public opinion will play a significant role in Diddy's trial, and managing the narrative will be crucial for both sides. As with any high-profile case, the media will be following every development, and Diddy's legal team will need to carefully craft their public statements to maintain as much of the rapper's reputation as possible. Damage control has already begun, with Diddy's attorneys insisting that many of the allegations are false or exaggerated. One key aspect of this public relations battle will be managing the perceptions of Diddy's longtime fans and industry peers. While some celebrities have distanced themselves from the hip-hop mogul, others have remained silent or expressed support. The entertainment industry in particular will be watching closely to see how this case evolves, as it has the potential to disrupt long-standing relationships and partnerships. The fate of Diddy's business ventures, including his music label and other entrepreneurial endeavours, could hinge on how the public perceives him in the wake of these allegations. For the prosecution, the task of influencing public opinion is equally important. Prosecutors will likely continue to provide updates to the media, carefully positioning the case as a fight for justice for the many alleged victims. Tony Busby, the lead attorney for the victims, has already taken a proactive approach in communicating with the public, emphasising that he will leave no stone unturned in his pursuit of justice. This aggressive strategy serves to rally public support for the victims, many of whom have spoken out about their experiences. As more details of the case emerge, the potential involvement of other celebrities has become a significant point of intrigue. The entertainment industry has long been rife with rumours of misconduct and abuse, but the Diddy case has brought these issues to the forefront in a way that few other scandals have. If the accusations are proven true, it could trigger a broader reckoning within the industry, similar to the one sparked by the Me Too movement, which exposed widespread sexual harassment and assault in Hollywood. Already, names like Justin Bieber, Usher, and Jennifer Lopez have been mentioned in connection with the case, whether through past associations with Diddy or speculation about their knowledge of his actions. These connections have put immense pressure on these celebrities, many of whom have opted to remain silent rather than publicly address the situation. However, the longer this case drags on, the more difficult it may become for those close to Diddy to avoid taking a stand. The potential involvement of political figures such as New York City Mayor Eric Adams has also added a new layer of complexity to the case. If it is proven that politicians or other high-profile individuals participated in or covered up Diddy's alleged crimes, the scandal could expand far beyond the world of music and entertainment. This would not only be a personal disaster for Diddy, but could also implicate powerful figures who have supported him throughout his career. In addition to the legal and social fallout, the case may also inspire broader conversations about the culture of silence and complicity in the entertainment industry. For years, there have been whispers about the darker side of fame, but few cases have resulted in such extensive legal action. Diddy's case could become a turning point, encouraging more victims to come forward and pushing the industry to adopt stricter policies to prevent abuse and exploitation. While Diddy's legal team has thus far maintained a strong stance on fighting the charges, the possibility of a plea deal remains. In high-profile cases involving such serious allegations, plea deals are often used as a way to avoid the risk of a lengthy trial and an even lengthier prison sentence. However, accepting a plea deal would require Diddy to admit some level of guilt, which could severely damage his reputation and career. Given the nature of the charges and the extensive evidence that prosecutors claim to have, a plea deal may be a more attractive option as the trial progresses. This would allow Diddy to avoid the harshest penalties, including a life sentence, while still facing significant legal and financial repercussions. His legal team will need to weigh the potential benefits of a plea deal against the risks of going to trial, where the outcome could be far less favourable. Plea deals also come with their own challenges, especially in cases involving multiple victims. The victims may feel that justice has not been fully served if Diddy does not face the maximum penalties for his actions. In some instances, victims have pushed back against plea deals, arguing that they allow powerful individuals to escape full accountability. This could be a significant factor in the Diddy case, where many of the victims have already expressed a desire to see the rapper fully prosecuted for his alleged crimes. As the case continues to evolve, it is clear that the stakes are incredibly high, not just for Diddy, but for the entire music industry. If Diddy is found guilty, it could send shockwaves through the entertainment world, prompting renewed scrutiny of other high-profile figures and their behaviour. The case has already raised uncomfortable questions about the industry's tolerance for abusive behaviour and its tendency to protect powerful individuals at the expense of victims. Moreover, the financial implications of a guilty verdict could be devastating for Diddy's business empire. His brand, built on decades of success in music, fashion and entrepreneurship, could crumble if he is convicted. Sponsors, business partners and collaborators would likely sever ties, and his legacy could be forever tarnished by these allegations. On the flip side, the case could also prompt a shift in how the music industry handles allegations of misconduct. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to hold celebrities accountable for their actions, and Diddy's case could serve as a catalyst for further reforms. Music labels, concert promoters and other industry players may be forced to adopt stricter vetting processes and take allegations of abuse more seriously. If Diddy is ultimately convicted of the charges against him, the consequences will be severe. As mentioned earlier, the charges he faces, conspiracy, sexual trafficking, and transportation for prostitution, are among the most serious in the legal system. If convicted, Diddy could be sentenced to a minimum of 15 years in prison, with the possibility of life imprisonment. These crimes, particularly those involving minors, are considered especially egregious, and the courts are likely to impose the harshest penalties available. In addition to the prison sentence, Diddy would face significant financial penalties, including potential civil suits from the victims. The financial fallout from these lawsuits could be substantial, especially if Diddy's assets are tied up in legal fees and settlements. His business ventures, including his music label and fashion brand, would likely suffer as well, as sponsors and partners distance themselves from the scandal. Beyond the legal and financial ramifications, a guilty verdict would likely mark the end of Diddy's career. Even if he were to serve his sentence and eventually be released, the stigma of these allegations would be difficult to overcome. Public figures who are convicted of crimes involving sexual misconduct, particularly those involving minors, often find it impossible to rebuild their careers. Diddy's reputation, once that of a celebrated entrepreneur and cultural icon, would be irreparably damaged. As we await the outcome of this case, it is clear that the legal battle is far from over. Diddy and his team of lawyers will continue to fight for his freedom, but the evidence against him is mounting and the stakes could not be higher. For the victims, this case represents a chance to finally see justice served after years of suffering in silence. For the public, it is a reminder that no one is above the law, not even a music mogul as powerful as Diddy. What do you think? Will Diddy be able to defend himself successfully, or is this the beginning of the end for the hip-hop icon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. And if you want to stay updated on this case and others like it, be sure to subscribe and click the next card on your screen.